This is Seven Brothers, more than a meal stories.
Okay guys, today we're talking about the Shem Burger, and we have my brother Shem, number 4, who invented the Shem Burger.
The Shem Burger, I think, is my favorite story.
Okay, a little biased I'd say, but let's hear it.
Do you have any idea?
I remember a little bit how it happened. I remember mostly like at the end I was like, oh, it's Shem, because Shem is my little brother, right guys? So I'm like, oh, it's not gonna be that good or whatever. And I'm like, oh dang, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but no, yeah.
So check this out.
But
right?
how did you come up with it?
I looked at all the ingredients that we had in the kitchen. We had avocados, we had tomatoes, we had onions, we had everything we needed to make guacamole. And so I was like, I'm gonna make a guacamole burger with bacon. Whipped it up in the kitchen, brought it out to Dad. He was sitting out front. We had like these circle plastic tables out in front of the mill before, like if you remember.
That would break like every other week.
Like we went through tables like going through tables like no joke in chairs.
So
anyway,
true.
Sitting on these plastic tables, plastic chairs. I bring him out the guacamole. He tastes it. And he's like, puts it in his mouth. He's like, I could tell he liked it. He's like,
oh, the eyebrow lift. You get the eyebrow lift from Daddy. You know it's on point. Yeah.
I knew he liked it, and he's like, yeah, go for it. Go do it. And Dad said to me, he said, no one will ever buy an $8 burger. I wrote a sign on that. Back then we put our specials up on whiteboards. Yeah. I wrote down the Shem Burger. Kind of just like, if it was successful, then it was like, I told you so.
And what's cool about the Shem Burger is that it has a little bit of heat. We have Tapatio in it.
Yeah, there's Tapatio.
We use our Montreal steak seasoning, which goes on everything.
Yeah.
Of course, you have your onions and then you put the your lemon in it, right, to give it its
lemon juice,
a little bit of its citrus,
and fresh avocados every single day. Always fresh avocados.
As time has morphed, there certainly was ways where food vendors would come to us like, oh my gosh, we can save you guys a ton of money. We have guacamole in a bag. You rip it open, it's delicious.
Yeah.
But again, it was like a cardinal sin almost to do anything like that. Dad taught us like, hey, let's do everything fresh. Let's do it right.
Yeah.
And if we're going to charge the price for it, let's make sure it's appropriate so that people, when you taste it, how does it differentiate from everyone else? Like,
exactly.
It's not coming out of a bag, made fresh every day.
Other people do guacamole burgers, and so I wanted the guacamole to be a little different. And so it's more like a guacamole salsa. It has like chunky tomatoes in it instead of just this smooth, creamy. It has like the smooth and creaminess, but then added in those like chunky tomatoes to kind of give it that, a little more juiciness to it.
And
So when I put the sign out that day, I made a batch of it, and I was like, man, I really hope that all these avocados don't go to waste. And within, I think, 2 hours, we sold out of all the guacamole. The success of that one burger was like, oh, people want more than just a cheeseburger. People want more than just adding on bacon to a cheeseburger or twice as much. And so we started playing around with different concepts of different burgers. So it was like, oh, people like the guacamole burger, maybe they like this type of burger. And like, we came up with another one and another one, another one. And now we have our menu today that's, filled with, the cheeseburger is a classic, but then we have these other ones, these signature burgers that, for me, I feel like I don't get those flavor profiles from any other restaurant in our category.
Well, I think there's burgers that we love, but the size, the quantity, and like you said, the flavor profile, it's nowhere else. In fact, I remember when we were gone, like missions or whatever, we come back to like, we haven't had that burger in so long. I remember Max came back from his mission. He's like, dude, I crave that taste.
Yeah.
Like, you can't find it anywhere else. So there you have it. This is the Shem Burger memory of the inception of the Shem Burger. And who better describe and tell us the story than Shem himself?
For more recipes and more stories of our menu, follow along.